Apple versus Epic Games. It's something we all have heard, should have heard by now in the news. But ever since Apple threw Fortnite off the App Store, they've been locked in a legal battle ever since. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the whole lawsuit and just taking an overview in all of this, because it's so funny actually. There's so much hypocritical things and just of all funniest things I've ever heard in my life while researching this. So as always with this video, everything I'm going to say backed up by proof, and I'm going to show the public record legal documents to back off what I say as well, back on, because I don't want to really get anything wrong as of now, because this is still an ongoing lawsuit. So everything I'm going to say is going to be backed up by proof. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get into it. So the first segment is, how did all of this happen? So this happened on August 13th, 2020. It started with Epic Games. They issued an update where users could pay on the Epic Games store directly or on the App Store. And of course, because they did this, they circumvented the 30% cut that Apple takes when people buy microtransactions. So of course Apple got a note of it instantly. Actually on the same day that this update was issued, Apple kicked it off, which immediately resulted in Epic Games suing Apple because of it, because now they were losing income and they lost hundreds of millions of potential users on the platform as well. Now it's worth noting that they didn't only sue Apple, they also sued Google, but it's irrelevant at this point because they can circumvent it, because Android is an open system, so they can just download the Epic Games launcher on to their phone or tablet running Android and then just download the game from there. So the lawsuit didn't really go anywhere with Google. So what's Epic's response to it being kicked off? Well, they made a video firing back at Apple for doing it, which sparked the hashtag #FreeFortnite trend. So the video in question is the video titled 1980 Fortnite. It sparked a lot of global attention because of it. The video itself stated that Epic could take on Apple and Google's dominance in the App and Google Play Store, which is kinda ironic because, yeah, I'm going to wait at that point. But the video's only purpose, as I could see, though this is not confirmed, but it's my personal theory, the only reason they actually published it was to hide the fact that they were suing Apple and Google, so they wouldn't get bad press for doing so. Because, as I found out while researching this, Epic Games was actually preparing the lawsuit the day they put Fortnite on the App Store and Google Play Store. It was in April of last year. They were preparing the lawsuit from there because they knew they had intentions of doing this, which is exactly why they were firing back with a lawsuit instantly when all this arose. So, what do Epic Games actually stand to get from this? Well, after some research, it's easy to see why they're doing this, which is kind of ironic. They want to cripple all the digital storefronts and assert Epic Games storefronts. The Epic Games storefront, they want to assert it as the dominant store by luring people away from others and making them seem like the bad ones because, oh, they charge 30% on each in-app purchase. Well, we're not heartless. We charge 18% just to have the game listed on our store. Issue solved. So, yeah. They were promising more revenue to the publisher, and they were sure to say this in the lawsuit as well. If you didn't know, they actually mentioned it in the lawsuit as well. They actually advertised this in the lawsuit. So my personal theory is that not only did they use this lawsuit to kind of assert themselves as the better alternative, and by thinking of the player, not only did they do that, they also advertised their own freaking store using a lawsuit. The publicity may not be as good as they thought. So they were sure to say this in the lawsuit, like I said, to make others seem bad. But the thing they forgot to mention, this is something I really want to disclose. The thing they forgot to mention was that unlike the other stores, Epic Games Store, if you publish on there, or if you ask to publish your games on there, you sign an exclusivity deal or contract with Epic Games for X amount of time. I couldn't find the exact amount of time because, of course, it's not disclosed to the public like that, but what I could find was that the contract usually varies between 6 months to a year, depending on the game and how much potential it has for making revenue. So, of course, they forgot to mention this because it scares people away when you have to sign an exclusivity deal. Because not only does it really hurt the game that it's exclusive to one storefront only, the Epic Games Store isn't as popular as if you would publish it on either the PlayStation Store or the Microsoft Store or Steam for that matter, which is the biggest digital storefront in the world as of now, I do believe. So not only that, you will be locked to a store that is as new as something can be, but you will also have to wait the full year or 6 months or X amount of time to then release the game on other platforms. Though in this time, Epic Games promises to fund the game, but I don't know how sure that or how accurate that statement is, because Epic Games aren't really known for being the community type person or company, as seen with Fortnite. Actually, this whole thing sparked from Fortnite. They are putting way too much into one single ship, and that ship is already sinking because Fortnite's popularity is dwindling a lot. And them putting all efforts and all resources into one ship further proves my point that they have to get this store up and running to keep on getting revenue, which is not as good as something can be. So yeah, it can hurt the game in the long run, since every gamer on the planet hates Epic Games Store for obvious reasons, of course. So even though you get more of the income, you lose a lot of potential players/buyers for the game, and you lose a lot of the fan base as well. So in hindsight, the 30% cut that other stores take, or digital storefronts, it isn't really that bad, considering you can publish your game on different stores and not be exclusive to one store. So, what is Apple's response to this? Now, this is really interesting, actually. Also, I'm going to show the legal documents in the background while saying all this. So, Apple's response: Apple did not take kindly to Epic breaching their contract and terms of service as well on the App Store. If you didn't know, the contract and terms of services on App Store actually discloses that if you try to circumvent the cut that Apple takes, you get your game or something or app or whatever you've published on it, you get it closed immediately. Because the reason the stores around the world take 30% of all profits relating to games is due to the fact that you get free licensing to publish your game on these storefronts, the biggest of the storefronts. And of course, because they advertise the game and they put the game out there, of course they want a bit of the profits as well for making the game as a success as the game has become in some time. Of course, this does sometimes backfire. Not all games are successful, but unlike the Epic Games Store, they do not charge you. They do not charge you to have something on the store, but they only take cuts of profits. And considering that 80% of the games and apps on the App Store and Google Play Store are free, it's not you that lose anything, it's the company that loses it all. So be mindful of that. So they countersued Epic for breaking and breaching the terms of service and the contract they signed. And of course, this resulted in the lawsuit that is here now. And Apple also allegedly insinuated that Epic actually took money from them by doing this, by circumventing the 30% fee. But of course, this has since been denied by the judge, because she denied that no money was taken. So Apple didn't really get away with that, which is kinda ironic. So, Apple has been really quiet about this because it's really affecting the productions of their hardware as well as affecting work morale around the company. So they've been a bit quiet about it, not really gone out into the press and all that. So right now, as of making this video, I'm awaiting further information about this. So I can't really tell what Apple is cooking up, but I know they are going to fire back. Remember, Apple is a almost $2 trillion company, and they're getting sued by a $19 billion company. I wonder who's going to come out in the end. As the court case is standing right now, Apple is actually ahead, because Epic doesn't. Yeah, they don't really have any good arguments. So right now they aren't really in the best position. Now, what is Google's response? Well, Google responded unlike Apple. They don't really care, because their store, their policy, their contract breached that, and you're done. And Epic didn't really pursue it any further because, like I said, they could just download the Epic Games Store from their phone and download the game there. So they didn't really pursue it. But Epic is, like Apple's case, battling the 30% fee at Google as well. Actually, they're battling the 30% fee on Steam, Google, Play Store, and PlayStation Store, and Xbox Store, and all of those places where they take a 30% fee. They're battling every single one of them with this counter argument, which is pretty ironic. So of course, yes, they take the 30%, but for that money you get your app/game on one of the biggest platforms. So Epic is bound to lose this really much. Yeah, they are bound to lose. Unless the scale tips in their favor. Who knows? So, the judge's response. One thing Epic forgot to think about, was that Apple was thinking of deleting Epic's developer account, which would not only have affected Epic, but everyone using the Unreal Engine as the game engine. Luckily for Epic Games, the judge ruled that Apple will permanently not be able to delete on Epic Games' developer account, which saved a lot of games, because this could have really turned out for the worst. Just saying. So yeah, that was that, and the judge ruled in favor of Epic because of it. But the judge didn't want to force Apple to reinstate Fortnite, and that is something Epic is pretty mad about as of now, because it was their goal. Now the judge is saying that they won't force Apple to do it, because, like with Google's case, Apple's store, Apple's rules, if anyone breaches them, even if it's a billion dollar company, they'll get kicked off immediately. There's no way to circumvent it. So yeah, that's actually how it stands right now as for the judge's response. But there's not a lot of info out there, so until the court case on the 3rd of May happens, I can't really say a lot about it. So, who's supporting who? Now, this is something that I'm not officially, this is not verified officially, but it's what I saw from the research. So don't take this literally. Just take it with a grain of salt, because nothing as of yet has been confirmed. Though 3 of them have been confirmed, but the others haven't. So the ones supporting Epic are Microsoft, Spotify, Facebook, and Blick's email service. So Microsoft and Spotify and Facebook have been officially verified that they are supporting Epic. Supporting Apple should be Samsung, Google, Valve, PlayStation, Nintendo, Microsoft, and more. So the reason I've put those on there is because if this goes through, it will cripple PlayStation, Nintendo, and Microsoft stores, and Google stores as well, and the Steam store. Though I'm not sure that they're supporting Apple directly, so don't take it literally. As I said, take it with a grain of salt, because nothing has been confirmed. But Apple tried to reach out to Samsung to help them, but the judge ultimately denied their request, which is kinda suspicious. Not gonna lie about that. Yeah, as I said, nothing is official about what I said of who's supporting who, except with Epic's case. But new info has suggested that if Apple loses this, it would harm and have big consequences for those stores, which would affect everything badly. It would affect the gaming community badly, and overall it would just be, it would be a shit fest. Because Epic shouldn't really be allowed to do this. Everything of this matter sparked from a freaking app that got banned, and now not only are they actually countersuing Apple and Google because of this, no, they're also throwing antitrust lawsuits over to them as well, because they take that 30% cut, which is yeah, I seriously don't know what to say. Because Epic shouldn't be allowed to do this, and they shouldn't be allowed to win either. So, the final words on this. I would hope so that Apple wins this case. Because Epic, as I said, Epic shouldn't be allowed to do this whatsoever. They have really, really, really gone too far this time. If they win this situation, it would change the gaming landscape as a whole. Meaning that not everything will be the same on the digital storefronts like we see today. So, for the love of God, Epic shouldn't win. They should be banned permanently, or at least restrained in the form that they can't do something like this again. It's almost just a publicity stunt to get out there that they have an alternative to the 30% cut. We only take 18% instead. But of course they forget to mention all the important parts. And the funniest thing that I actually found out, I don't know if it's true, but in the terms of service on what is it called, the Epic Games terms of service, it literally encourages you to not sue them whatsoever. It literally just says that it's pointless to sue them for something like this, and you kinda can't sue them, which is a definite red flag. So, of course, none of this is actually confirmed. Not everything is confirmed. So, yeah, I'm just going off of speculation. The last 2 minutes is just speculation. But as of now, new information has come a little bit out. I've shared that information. We've taken a look at the overview. We've taken a look at the situation as a whole and discussed the things that were important to discuss. Now, please, if you want to get in on this situation, please comment down below, sharing your thoughts on this situation, because it shouldn't be allowed. This it's too far. So anyway, this has been Lightning here with gaming news. So I'm awaiting new information about this. I'm also waiting about new information on Anthem 2.0, and I have a new video coming out soon as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please do remember to hit that subscribe button, and as always, peace out.